Hey, hey, it's me, Craigie B, and it is. I'm struggling to get my camera straight at the moment, and that is because this morning, on day 7 of MS Awareness Month, that I decided to go live to camera in a much shorter time frame between finishing my morning jog and going live here on the book face, and I saw that as a little bit of a challenge to try and shorten the gap between doing my morning jog and actually going live. And I just see, I had no idea what I was going to talk about when I got back to the house, but then I realised that this morning's efforts reminded me somewhat of a period in time, um, a very short period of time between early November 2018 and late February 2019. So there was a period of about 3.5 months where I went from being fully able-bodied, and the reason I remember this is because I was at a school reunion event in early November 2018, and I was pretty much perfectly fine at the time. I kind of knew there was something wrong, but nobody would have known to look at me, and I even thought possibly it was my imagination. There were just some little elements when my body didn't quite feel right for some reason, but I just couldn't put a finger on it. Well, in that 3.5 month period before my legs stopped supporting my weight altogether, there were 5 or 6 occasions where my legs just gave way without warning. I just collapsed, and a couple of those falls. One of those falls in particular was really scary because I found myself falling backwards unexpectedly and didn't have time to do anything to soften my fall. And I also knew at the time I was falling backwards towards some very solid wooden furniture, and I didn't know as I was falling how far away from the furniture I actually was, and I had enough time to think this could be really bad news for me and my head and even my life. And luckily, I was further away from the furniture than I actually suspected, and everything was fine. I just fell flat on my back on the floor. And now, what it was about this morning that reminded me of that was when I first got out of bed. I had this feeling. Sometimes it takes a while for the signals that I'm trying to send to my legs to actually arrive first thing in the day, first thing in the morning. And on this occasion, it actually felt very similar to some of those occasions when my legs were giving way without warning. Except the difference was I did feel like I was getting a bit of a warning on this occasion, but legs didn't quite give way, but it felt like they were going to a few times this morning. As a result of that, I was um, I was seriously thinking about simply just walking this morning and not even attempting to jog, because I didn't entirely trust my legs when I first set off. But I thought I'll give it a go anyway, so I started gently on the driveway. And um, the weird thing was, although I was fine, I could barely generate any lift. So I looked like I must have looked like an old age pensioner trying to jog, and it must have looked really silly, um, because I could barely generate any lift off the ground. But I kept going, so I was moving really not much swifter than just a brisk walk. And I was debating in my mind whether to give up or not, but I kept telling myself, keep going, keep going. It's not as if you're going to hurt yourself if you fall over going at this speed. So I thought I'll just keep going. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was on a little bit. No, I was about to say I was on a little bit of a downhill, but I wasn't. It was dead flat ground at this point. Suddenly, from nowhere, I got a burst of speed, and suddenly I was generating some really excellent lift off off the pavement, and I managed to run quicker than I ever have since I escaped hospital all those years ago, 6 years ago. Uh, and I was gobsmacked that suddenly my legs had started working better than they have at any point. Um, and yeah, a really, really strange experience this morning. And the other thing, the other breakthrough for me, in addition to actually managing to go faster at one point than I have since my hospital experience, is that I also managed to jog further in one go than I have over this first 7 days of MS Awareness Month. So I'm really chuffed about that. When I got home, I again, very oddly, as soon as I stopped moving around as swiftly, I felt like my legs were going to go again. Hence, I'm sitting down for this update. Anyway, I'm really chuffed with it. I mean, it was a really strange experience altogether, but I'm really, really thrilled that I've actually done this today because I pushed through doubts that I was having about whether I should do it at all. That's all for today, day 7 of Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week. See, I've been practicing saying it and I can actually say it now. So another breakthrough. I can actually say that properly now. And anyway, I will speak to you again soon and have a great day. Cheers for now. Bye.